Suzuki. Back to Lane Hudson. Laine thought about the one-timer. Rips and score! Welcome to the Bell Center, Patrick Laine! Matheson drops. Suzuki walks it in, shoots, and that right pass. Look out, score! OT winner, Nick Suzuki, the follow-up, and the Montreal Canadiens win on home ice.
What a great week for the Montreal Canadiens. Welcome back to another Canadiens Weekly Report with hockey coach Francis directly for the beautiful country of Thailand. An amazing, great Sunday night, December 8th, 2024, 17 days before Enortap do his tour of the Christmas holidays around the world. But before that, we're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens tonight because that's happening to the Montreal during the week with a record of 2-0-1. 2-1-0, I apologize. I was talking about the Laval Rocket. But that's going to do tonight. But the biggest question of the night, guys, on my subject is going to be this. Sakowski, 2 goals. Kubidak, 1 goal. Alex Newhook, 0 assists since the beginning of the season. That's not looking good for the Montreal Canadiens. But it's not going to talk about this until we have Enortap going to join me live tonight. We have a couple of games to talk about in NHL today. We have 7 games in action and around all the team in NHL. We're going to talk about the Laval Rocket, the Montreal Canadiens pipeline. Some players looking good. An injury for Michael Edge. Evan Demidov, bench. Evan Demidov on the third line. Evan Demidov, bench. Rottenberg, the head coach. Unbelievable. It is. Anyway, we're going to talk about everything about the Montreal Canadiens. So stay with us until to the end of the show. And don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow night at the Montreal Canadiens play at 7:30 at the Amazon Prime. Again, the Anaheim Ducks and Leo Carlson. Unfortunately, Carlson is out. And, of course, also Trevor Zegras. But we'll see if Montreal can bounce back after a loss against the Washington Capitals Saturday night. We're going to recap that game with, of course, the co-host of the night, the number 1 co-host of the Weekly Report. Come with me every Sunday night. Welcome back. Directly from Toronto, let's further ado. Mr. Enortap is in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. Great to be here again, Coach. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure to work with you, Mr. Enortap. Now it's holidays. I know we are busy at the holidays. What happening during the weekend for you, Mr. Enortap?
Well, it was very busy weekend. I had actually some family members I helped with some painting this weekend, and I had some chores around the house as well. So got to see some of the games, of course, in the evenings, but overall it was one of those weekends where it wasn't very relaxing. That's for sure. But that's okay.
Now it's the football college right now with the top of the top team and for the bowl, and then you have the NFL with the playoff race going on around the league, of course, and then of course you have the NHL hockey. But if you follow Montreal Canadiens, but you have to watch the Laval Rocket. They play 2 games on the weekend, and then you have to watch all the prospects around. So I don't know. I maybe watch 9 to 12 games on the weekend, Mr. Enortap. Pick it up, 1 period there, 1 highlight there. It's crazy. Vincent Rohrer, great weekend. Kapanen, great weekend. Owen Brass, a good game Friday night. And then right now, Tyler Top have 1 assist. And Dimitar played 1 game yesterday, but today, honestly, for you guys. But look, this is going. It was really busy day, busy weekend for me, and then we have people in town, so sharing everything is missing sleep, Mr. Enortap. I'm going to catch up with hours the next couple of days to catch up what's going on before the Christmas.
I hope so.
Holidays is back in Thailand. Now the people put some kind of declaration We don't have the snow, but we have a couple of trees left and right, and we have the Santa Claus is full all the great the,
The stockings.
the Santa Claus is back in Thailand. Mr. Enortap. Last night I did a tour. Whew, Mr. Enortap. Oh, Mr. Enortap.
Must have been a busy
A
night.
hurricane last night, Mr. Enortap, at the Highball Amsonia in Thailand, Pattaya downtown at the walking street, Mr. Enortap. Sit at the table for approximately 2 hours. And I did not move. And it was a wave, a couple get out of the bar, one by one. You have everything.
Nobody left alone.
The oldest one to the youngest one, Mr. Enortap. They didn't have a lot of rest of the cheese at the end of the night, honestly, in the bar. But I left before they had get that one. But what a great evening to watching this. This is hilarious for me. I laughed so many. Some are drunk, some are just, it is what it is in Thailand, Mr. Enortap. I hope one of you,
different world.
one day, one of you, all of you guys, you can visit Thailand, but you have to go to Pattaya. This is the place to visit in Pattaya. So anyhow, Mr. Enortap, we're going to talk about Montreal Canadiens, but before that, we're going to welcome everybody. It looked like a lot of action already talking about something happening with the Montreal Canadiens during the week. So first of all, Mr. Enortap, we're going to welcome Bobs is in the house tonight. Welcome back, Bobs. Hopefully you're doing well. And then we have Mr. Joe Paletta. Welcome back, Joe Paletta. Charles is in the house tonight from Scotland. Claude Richard, Ottawa. Alan Vinaco from Kentucky. I don't know if we are a little bit concerned about RDP with the Buffalo Sabres. Irene Vaillancourt, we need to be concerned with the Nashville Predator. What about Sharks? Sharks was at the game in Montreal. Watching Montreal, Washington, Saturday.
Their GM?
Yeah.
Their GM was there?
I didn't hear from him, but I remember he told us, XL is in the house. Welcome back. Ronald Kings, moderator. With the Kings. Kings looking good, Mr. Enortap. The trade between the Kings and the Washington benefit both teams right now. At this moment. Then we go to PLW, go with Matt Shine to score a goal tonight, 3.4. Good luck at PLW with you bet tonight. Martin Besnet, de retour avec nous from Waterloo. Welcome back, Martin Besnet. Hopefully doing well. Luc Martin de retour avec nous ce soir. Welcome back, Lucky. Sam Dean is in the house. Welcome back. This is a great name when you score a goal in NHL, right? Third goal of the season, number 36, Sam Dean. I like it. J. Fed is in the house. Welcome back. J. Fed, Shane Wright score. Yeah, 7th goal of the year for Shane Wright. Looking great over there for the Seattle Kraken. They beat today the New York Rangers 7-5. Rangers, Mr. Enortap. We're going to talk about them the next couple of minutes. And then we'll go back again in the house. RJ Calabro with other update. RJ Calabro will be busy tonight, directly from New Jersey. RDP is in the house, and we're always glad to see RDP back in the house with the Buffalo Sabres. What's going on, Mr. RDP, with your team? Calgary is my surprise. The first round pick, and Montreal would be better. Martin Vesnet play right now. Again, the Dallas Stars 1-1.
Yeah. But, almost the end of the first period.
Yeah. We'll see. They score on the shot and did. Wyatt Johnson score a goal. Luc Fortin. Talk about John. Welcome back. Hopefully doing well. John Slattery. Welcome. Gary back in the house from Ontario. Send them in. Welcome back. You're absolutely right, Alan, about them. Gary Conway, the best driver around the world of UPS, is in the house tonight. Gary should be busy right now, right? Thanksgiving.
It's Christmas time. Absolutely.
This is like no stop, right? 6 a.m. until the last box in the truck, Mr. Enortap. That truck back at UPS office with nothing inside. They cannot carry on anything. They have to deliver snow, weather, everything. Gary is the man of the month of the December. We're going to give him the first star of the month, Mr. Enortap, already before the end of the month.
And there's also, Coach, there's also a Canada Post strike. So you can bet that he's even busier now with that strike going on.
Really?
We'll see when that ends, but it doesn't look very promising right now.
But Gary, maybe you have a couple of
Gary
days
comes to
off
the
in
rescue.
December. Would you have a couple of days off in December, Mr. Arthur?
Yeah, in December, yes, a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Why not to be helping Gary a couple of days in Montreal?
Oh, Gary's got it under control. I have no doubts.
You know, you wear a lot of hat. You want not to be a UPS driver for the couple of days in December. Yeah, part-time job, get more money. It's not that. They get a lot of good money. It's a UPS make a lot of good money as a driver.
Yeah, that's what I hear. But I mean, Gary could shed some light on that a little bit more. But it's also a very hard job because there's a lot of pressure to get things out on time, and I admire that. I think that they do a fantastic job, especially now with like I said, with this Canada Post strike. It's making it much more challenging for everybody else. Kudos to Gary.
Talking about delivery, Mr. Tap, the Montreal Canadiens delivery this week with a good week. We're going to talk about that situation for Montreal. But before that, like we do at the beginning of the show, we talk about different things about the NHL. Not many comments, but we're going to give you a bit what's going on. The NHL news. Waiver today, San Jose Sharks. Giovanni Smith, ex-Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning, Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago put Joey Anderson, not Josh Anderson, guys. So you use the wrong name.
Don't get
Joey
excited.
Anderson, and then the Los Angeles Kings put Caleb Jones, the brother to Otto Jones. So 3 players on the waiver. We'll see if her team can pick it up. One of them will be claimed or not. Something we're going to give you more information tomorrow. But the NHL injuries, guys. Chicago Blackhawks after the fire Luke Richardson. And they have an interim coach. Chicago lost also yesterday. Again, Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets are losing, Mr. Tap.
They lost. They
It's
lost.
over.
It's over. 4-1, I think.
Columbus,
Big
Mr. Tap.
surprise. Interesting team, Columbus. Eh?
Yeah.
I didn't have them pegged this high this year. I thought with all that happened in the summer, it would be a little bit more difficult for them to try to get points, but you got to give them credit.
Yep, so right. So Chicago put Peter Mrachek on the ER, call up Kevin Korchinski, a 7 overall pick 2 years ago, I believe. And they go to Doug Cosmesso from the Chicago and the American Hockey League. The Toronto announced Jake McCabe is on ER right now. And Matt Pacioretty is out for the long-term injury reserve, so expect Pacioretty to return to the lineup. I know Zegras is on the ER. Fallon Mercado put Miles Wood on the long-term injury reserve. They'll give you a bit of information what's going on around the league. Then the NHL news, Vancouver sent down Zilov, an American Hockey League, because of what, Mr. Tap?
Because of the return of Demko.
Yeah. And it was not good because the Lightning beat the Vancouver Canucks by the score 4-2 today. Minnesota sent Travis Boyd to the American Hockey League with the team Iowa. While the New York Rangers called up Gara, the goaltender. Is it a quick hurt, Mr. Alda?
I think Quick got hurt. Yeah, I think that's why they call up for the Rangers.
So that's happened about the NHL. So I'll just give you a little bit an idea about the NHL. Going to talk about the standing maybe the next 30 minutes, what's going on in the standing, everything like that. We have a couple of people knock the door before everybody. Don't forget, please, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be great. If you are there, we're going to say that we'll go all the way up and start up. We have a complaint for the late delivery. We know whose fault it is, Mr. Enortap. PLW already pointed Gary Cornoyer. There we go.
No.
One week King said we get spanked by the San Jose 7-2, and then the next 5 games we only gave 7 goals. Ronnie, welcome back in the house. Ronnie Odette, directly from Quebec City, Mr. Enortap. Larry Lavallée, Mr. Enortap, sit on the balcony in Arizona. just smell the steak right there, Mr. Enortap.
Ah, what'd you
Claude
have for dinner,
Richard.
Larry?
Claude Richard from Ottawa Winbeck is leading the point with the Laval Rocket. Yeah, absolutely about that. Thanks so much. The Chester King signed a 8-year contract at $11.5 million per year, Mr. Enortap, with New York Rangers a couple of days ago. You're right about this. And then we have Alan Vaillancourt. Coach, if you were hired as the next coach of the Nashville, what you do, what you tell them? Um, I go to see Barry Truss. I said, can I get a center? Can I get some help at the center? Honestly, where you at right now, you have to minimize the because you can see Alan, the frustration, the disappointment, the panic, the pressure they have right now, and you have to go with that kind of the mode you have. What any team struggle, guys, is to go try to give them only the small goals. So one game at a time, one day at a time. Don't look at the standing. Don't try to think, hey, we have to win 5, 6 games. You have to bring the fun, the enthusiasm at the practice. It's a big, difficult things when your team like National sometimes with high expectation where they at. So it is what it is, but it's gonna be harder. I don't know how Andrew Brunette can go through uh, that storm or that slum and still be the head coach after the what Jonathan Marchessault said in French after the game Saturday, uh, Thursday night. I don't know. This is going to be very interesting for the next couple of days, week.
Yeah, and even the words of Stamkos, like he knows that not only is he not producing at the level that he's accustomed to, but he also sees around him that some people are just trying to do a little bit too much, and that's what's causing, that inability to sort of execute, right. It's all about a mindset, and I think if you can get a new voice in there, maybe at this point, and I mean, what else can you do at this stage? Like they're very weak down the middle, as you said, at center. It's really, you can see it's taking an effect on them. Like they have O'Reilly right there at the on the number one line, which I mean he's an excellent player, but at this stage in his life, he should probably be a number two or a number three, where he can offer more to the team rather than try to carry the team. So we'll see where this goes, but it doesn't look very good, Coach, at this stage.
And they panic, right? They let go Fabro, they let go Askarov, they let go Tommy Sano, and all of them play well with other teams. So there's something inside of that organization that's going on. We know after what, 25 years, 26 years, David Boyd had been the GM. Barry Trotz does not looking good right now with the Nashville Predator for sure. We have someone pop up in the chat, so welcome everybody. Don't forget, please, to click on the like if you don't mind. That'd be awesome. That'd be good. Here we go. Let's talk here about the Montreal Canadiens. First of all, news. Josh Anderson. We don't talk about Joey, but Josh now. Treatment day at the practice today for Josh Anderson. Well deserved, by the way. And then we have a trade on the week, a minor trade between the Edmonton Offenmeyer versus Jacob Perreault. We're not going to talk about this, but really what happened is on the weakness on top, the return of Patrick Laney. We're going to talk about this the next couple of minutes with the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
But well, see, talk about surprise team like inconsistency, Mr. On top. Tonight, the Colorado Avalanche beat the Devils by the score 3-0 right now. Again, the Devils, really good year so far, but tonight they struggle against the Colorado Avalanche. And very difficult about what's going on.
They're having a good night tonight. Though.
Yeah,
They're having a good night tonight, Colorado, over New Jersey, which you got to give them
They-
credit. New Jersey's been playing very hot lately, so this is on the verge of being a nice victory for Colorado on the road.
you're absolutely about that. Whenever leader they play on the low team, now they have been exposed. And 26, welcome back. You're absolutely right about this for sure. Team Utah just take the lead 2-1, Mr. Tap. Valimaki scored the first goal of the year. Assisté par Sergachev and Logan Cooley. Ah, cool. He was draft.
Uh-huh.
He was draft after Stokowski. Anyhow, it's on top. The weekly report for the Montreal Canadiens. 2-1-0 in 3 games. 4 points for Montreal, 7 goals, 5 goals again, a +2. That's not happened a lot during the year. They have a goal differential and the positive side. They still have 8 of the division, 16 in the conference, and 30 and and the standing. So they step up one position. That's not too bad, honestly. And then go to see the recap of the game against Washington Capitals. Why the New York Canadiens, most of the Washington Capitals, because we did already the Tuesday game when we did a notebook Wednesday. But let's focusing more what happened the weekend. And I want to give you a little bit, if you don't mind, give you a little bit information before you talk about the game. Montreal last 4-2 against the Washington. They beat the Nashville 3-0, and they beat the New York Islanders in overtime at 2-1. The power play was 2-7 Minnesota. Not too bad at all.
Yeah.
A little bit over the 25%. And then they have the PK, excellent again. One goal and 11 attempts. So another great week for the PK for the Montreal. During the week, Montreal is a save percentage of 968 this week with a 2W. Then we have Suzuki at 4 points with +3, 6 shots on the net at a face-off at 67.5 for Suzuki. The last couple of games, Suzuki is getting hot on the face-off circle, Miss on top. Patrick Laine back in the lineup, 2 goals at the beginning of the week. Then yesterday, 0 point. Caulfield, 3 points this week. Then Lane Hudson, like Suzuki, have a streak at 6 points right now. And then you have 18 points with 18 assists. Montembeau, save percentage now in the last 12 game at 932. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, Mr. Tap, about Montembeau. So that's what we got on this situation. So give us a bit more. What do you think about the Montreal Canadiens? Could be overview the week or the game against the Washington Capitals.
No, I think all 3 games, coach, that they played, I thought that they were encouraging. You might make the argument that, the Islanders aren't playing that well this year. Same thing with Nashville. And so there's your 2 victories. But even against Washington, I didn't think that they played a horrible game. I thought for the most part, they carried the play. I thought that they had their chances against Washington. They had in the third period alone, I think they had 3 or 4 breakaways. It was all about execution. The goaltending was superb by Thompson, and he did what he was supposed to do. Well, Montreal had a 2-0 lead, and you said it while you were doing the play-by-play going into the second period. You said the next goal is going to be a critical one, and lo and behold, Washington goes ahead and scores it, and then it became a matter of not being able to execute down the road here. But they had their chances, and that was pleasing to see. For me, I'm not disappointed by that game. I just think that Montreal is in a position right now that they're learning, and they have to be able to overcome certain obstacles. They have to learn how to, come from behind sometimes, how to maintain a lead and execute when they get the opportunities, because a team like Washington will not allow you a second and third opportunity. So overall, I thought it was encouraging.
Yeah, you're absolutely about that. I think Montreal played a solid game against Washington Capitals, in my opinion. I really like the game. I like the way they was compete, engage, their effort. They played 2 solid 2 period. Honestly, like you said, they don't capitalize on the boat break a women's on top. And that's the reason yesterday they lost by the score 4-2. But I like the way they performed during the week also. It
Yeah.
was great to see them. We have Luciano is in the house. Tony the Mark is out. Mario D, welcome back. Long time. So Devin, Rick Leonard Sport is in the house. Welcome back, everybody. About that.
Welcome,
And
Doug.
what you talk about, I did a video today and I talk about the game. And usually I do my 3 takeaway of the game. But yesterday I did not go that direction. I talk about the performance of the Montreal yesterday. Fact, like you do a lot of stuff on the whiteboard, right? You put the drill, you show up this, you tell, okay, we want to work on this, we have to work on the system, but on the breakaway, you have no real solution, Mr. Tap. This is the player's going alone. He have to score. It's not like you have to teach him to go break away, right? They are the NHL player. I'm not coaching a Pee Wee team, right? A Pee Wee team, you can maybe tell him, like, move your head, fake the left or right. But this is where I talk about this. Montreal Canadiens for this year and for next year also, after they develop the players, after they try to progress the team individually and together, it's the winner. It's not about only the result, but it's about to learn how to win games. This is where make it. This is what you have to learn when you rebuild a team. How we learn to win game when you lead, when the game is tied, when you trail, on certain time of the game. And yesterday Montreal lead 2-0. Then at 2-1, Mr. Tap, at 33 seconds, 53 seconds, we have a goal for Washington, cut the lead 2-1. Now, you play again the second best team in NHL. You play with the top best goal for, one of the top best goal against in NHL. You have one of the best team on the PK, one of the best on the face-off. This is a team right now. Whatever they have a new head coach, they new play together. It's mature, experience, wait. They just wait for the other team make mistake. That's what they are, and you can see with no panic during the game, and they come back with a full goal to win the game yesterday. So Montreal Canadiens, when you do that, it was all about the momentum, right? So when you get a goal like this, 2-1, you cannot play on the hill, and then you can the Washington put some more pressure, and then after that you have the Montreal Canadiens after a TV timeout. Maybe you don't pay attention, or maybe the people does not. The Flyers tied the game 2-2, Mr. Tap, and Michkov got an assist. Oh, Michkov, Logan Mayu, Shane Wright.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, interesting. This is going on with other players. But my point behind that, Mr. Tap, is like you hope sometimes you have a TV timeout to stop the momentum, right? To try to calm down everything on the ice. And that's happening yesterday. And then a great TV timeout. Martin Sweet talk out to this player. Then they come back. What a great shift at the second period. The momentum was back to the Montreal Canadiens. Back to back for 2 minutes, Mr. Tap. The fourth checking, the turnover from the Washington Capitals. But no opportunity for Montreal to score a goal. That time was 2-1. That hammer goal we talk about all the time. The third goal, if Montreal lead 3-0, Mr. Tap, I think Washington will be a little bit more affected by that. Or 2-1, then come back 3-1. We never see that goal, but the momentum switch. So after that, we got about 2-3 more minutes. Another TV timeout, Mr. Tap. We come back after the TV timeout. Jake Evans taking penalties. The momentum change again. Now the Washington Capitals come back stronger until the end of the game. But what's the point behind that? But the point is because this is where, there's a team with not much experience in NHL, a young team with not maturity yet, where they know what to do at front situations during the game. That's happening for the Montreal Canadiens. This is the first time of the year Montreal Canadiens lead after 40 minutes. It lost a game. It was 8-0-0 since the beginning of the season. But so this is happening. This is nothing wrong. The people can talk about mistake about Madison or Savard or whatever it is. For me, it was not this. So for me, last night, it's all about the 5 breakaway from Montreal Canadiens. If one of the 5 score, Mr. Tap,
it's a different game.
They completely. And usually, I believe in the NHL, I could be wrong, it's about 35%, I believe, successful on the breakaway. But again, Gallagher twice, Suzuki, Josh Anderson, and Jaden Swabov. So what you have to give credit, Mr. Tap, honestly, it's not about Montreal lose the game last night. It's the performance of the goaltender Logan Thompson. Make the big save. Keep the team in the game when he was losing 2-1, then 2-2. And then after that, the breakaway back to back. But Montreal cannot capitalize on those opportunities. When you play with the best team in the NHL, right? The best team. If you cannot capitalize on those opportunities, you're going to pay the price. And we feel it. I said that, guys. After one, after two, after three breakaway, guys, we're going to get swarm after that. We're going to give the game after that. And that's happening yesterday. But I don't see a negative. This is a great game to learn from that
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
And this is a good step forward for the Montreal Canadiens after a really difficult year, a really bad October, right? November, not too bad. Send the game, Mr. Natal. Remember, the last game they played each other, it was a Friday night in Washington. A Sunday night. Montreal lost by the score 6-3. Remember? You have another span of 3-4 goals during the game by the Washington Capitals in a couple of minutes. And then the next day, Mr. Tap, we have the practice, the skating practice for the players where Martin Saint-Louis was hangry after the game. And the season was going to go on the downside at that moment. But saying that, Mr. Tap, Montreal Canadiens bounced back very well. The last 12 games, they are 6-5-1. So it's a young team. There's a team that have to learn, and they have to go through this. So that's happening for Montreal Canadiens during the game against Washington Capitals. I don't know if you want to add something. A lot of comments in the chat there. By the way, welcome back, Zeb Lecav. Welcome. So, Born Ad to be armed.
Welcome.
Abs is in the house, by the way.
No, it's great to have everybody in for sure. I think between both of our sets of comments, Coach, I think we capitalized the game in a nutshell. Logan Thompson kept him in at a critical time, and Montreal is also a team that can ill afford to make the couple of defensive errors that they made, even though defensively as a team they didn't play badly. They just made a couple of errors. Savard comes to mind that on one of the plays that Wilson scored on, and they executed and we didn't, and that's basically the game summed up. But it's like I said, at least the last three games, it was very encouraging to see that they're continuing to play well defensively. They're not getting blown out of any games, and for the most part, they seem to be. They're still struggling in some aspects offensively, but overall, it's a much better team effort in my eyes. So, and also let's give credit to Montebo as well. Like he's played the last three games, and as you said earlier, I think he had a 946 save percentage. Only allowed 4 goals there. He had a shutout and allowed 1 goal in the previous game against who was it? Oh, the Islanders. So he's really bounced back and sort of solidified his position as the number one on the team. And these are the challenges you have when you're a rebuilding team. It's going to take time. It's going to take depth on the squad for them to be at the level where they can compete competitively on a night-to-night basis and get themselves into a playoff position.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. First of all, I also want to mention Steve G back in the house. Welcome back, Steve G. I appreciate that. Glad to see you. And the Colorado winning 3-0, Mr. Tap. The Utah take the lead again, Mr. Tap. Oh, look at Cody score. Interesting, Mr. Tap. Cody 2 points tonight. 7th goal of the year for Cody. 23 points in the beginning of the season, Mr. Tap. It is what it is. With that,
he's a good player. No debating that. He's a good player.
A great hockey player, Mr. Tap. Randy Walkman is in the house. Welcome back. Hopefully you're doing well. So that's happening about this. Well, a couple of people in the chat. The Canadiens are undefeated. 1 Laney score. Yeah. Cannot be disagree with that one. What fumble as he make an opinion? I don't know. That's refer to someone about that, Mr. Tap. But that's happening. So this is your turn, Mr. Tap, to do. You stood out, you obscure, and you at the office for the week, Mr. Tap, for Montreal Canadiens.
Okay, so if we look at the 3 games, would my stood out player in those 3 games, I'm going to go with Lane Hudson. I think that his his 3 assists are just the tip of what he's done. He's also, I think he tied Chris Chelios' record for consecutive games with an assist or more at 4 in a row or thereabouts. We got to stop. It's breaking news. Here we
Well, breaking
go.
news, Mr. Tap. Roger Delaney, Super Chat 699. He did it again. Roger Delaney, Mr. Tap gave us a super chat tonight. Notre ami Roger, est dans notre chat tonight, Roger. The oldest man in this chat, Mr. Tap, and we are proud and we are grateful to have the people like Roger Delaney, big supporter of the channel, Mr. Tap. Everything
Absolutely.
I do is always to give us a great kind of words and encouragement. So, Mr. Roger, thanks so much again for what you accomplished ici tonight. We want to thank a couple of people. One with Kings, super chats during the week, Mr. Tap, Larry Lavallée, Mac Elliott, Dave Everett, and Danny T. A lot of people contribute this week, so we are really grateful and thankful. The Jimbo back in the house. Welcome back about that one over there. Abination, I apologize. I see Abination earlier, but was talking about has some kind of problem
Fantasy.
with the computer. I don't know what's going on with Abination. We always find a way to put his team fantasy on the top of the top. So you have a backup something inside the house, Mr. Tap. Stood out. I apologize, Mr. Tap. So I heard about Lane Hudson.
Yeah, so he's my stood out. And again, not just because of the 4 assists that he had in the 3 games, but I just you look at his minutes. He went from, I think, like 17 to 23 to 19 or 20 minutes in the 3 games that he's played. I mean, you look at him and he's calm out there. He doesn't hesitate. He almost seems like a veteran there. And a lot of the assists that he gets, their primary assists, they're tape to tape passes that he makes. I just wish at some point, and I know it'll come, he gets a couple of goals just for his own satisfaction. But so far, we're very happy with his progress and delirious that he's on our team and not some other team. In terms of obscure coach, I'm gonna give it to Jack Eye. I think he's been every game he's been coming out. He appears stronger and stronger in my eyes. His minutes have skyrocketed. He's around 18, 19 minutes per game now, from where he was at the beginning of the year, and that's because he's going out there and he is producing in terms of just doing the behind the scene things right. He's making sure he completes checks. He's making sure he's clearing people from in front of the net. His passes are very good as well. He doesn't hang on to the puck very long. You notice he'll bounce it off the boards quickly or find the open streaking player once he gets the puck. So I think he had somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 11 hits as well over the 3 games. So that's encouraging as well. And to the office, that's a tougher one because I mean, you can give credit to the entire team for looking much better over these 3 games, but maybe if I had to give it to somebody, I guess I'll give it to Doc because we're still not seeing that production out of him that's expected, even though he's stepped up a little bit and he seems to be a little bit more engaged. He's tentative when he goes into the boards, and I'm sure that that's just the mindset. I'm sure the injury plays in his mind at some point, and when he's not producing on top of that, he becomes his worst enemy. I just hope he can get this together over, the last 50 games or plus that they have left, because I think it's a critical year for Montreal to evaluate him and see where he fits in their overall team, and also gives Montreal direction in terms of where they should be looking for either at trade deadline time, in the draft, UFA time, whatever the case might be. But they've got to get this thing straightened out with Doc and see what he is and what he can be for Montreal.
Yeah, you're upset about that. And any other you think you should bring at the office? You look like this is the only one you have this week.
Well, that's the one I went with. I mean, you can make minor cases for a couple of the defenders, but I think I'm really reaching if I do that. Like you can make a case for Savard being there. You could tell that his game has really slowed down. He's a good uh, he's a good blocker of shots, and he's decent on the penalty kill. But it's becoming much more difficult for him to keep up with the pace of the game, is my view, and he shouldn't be playing maybe as many minutes as he has over the course of the year. Uh, but again, I'm reaching for that. I'm trying to remain a little bit more optimistic this week because I think we've seen decent progress. And remember, we said it last week that they were going to go through about 10 games in December, and this was going to sort of be a benchmark for them in terms of what's going to happen uh, going forward. They have teams that are beatable in this group. They're playing better. So I'm expecting them to be at least 500 by the end of December. And they're going to have to be. Otherwise, January is a very bleak month for them. They have some tough matchups coming up, coach. And a lot of them are on the road. So it's, even though they're showing signs of improvement, converting that into victories is not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, absolutely. A2 is in the house. Welcome back on this one, Mr. A2. Welcome. A couple of comments about Sakaski, everybody else in the chat. Appreciate a lot. I have a question from Zev Lakav is us from Alan. I missed the second question. Oh, yeah, answer back. It was about. I'll give you that answer. Stood out, Mr. Tap, Samuel Montembeau. You went to Lane Hudson, right? I'll give it to Samuel Montembeau. Great week. He cannot be responsible of the loss yesterday against Washington, Mr. Tap. Two big game again. First of all, the New York Islanders, and then again the Nashville Predator.
Nashville.
So until Saturday, he stopped at 59 of the 60 shot he faced during the week until yesterday. And then we have to give credit for Montembeau, honestly, a record of 2-1. He was also named to the Team Canada. So good week for Samuel Montembeau. Happy. I know the consistency of the goaltender during the beginning, since the beginning of the season, never been there. But as to see Montembeau respond like this, great. And also, it's not only to be the goaltender when Montreal Canadiens, where the pressure is so high, but he's always there. Good game, bad game. He's always under the mic after the game, talking to the media, and he does not lie. He tells exactly what's going on, and I like the way he does this. That's a Montembeau. The obscure players, guys. The reason I say is because how it can, uh, which player on the PK Enortap is really stood out or obscure because the PK Enortap is excellent right now. And is it Jake Evan? Is it Josh Anderson? Is it Armia? Is it the defenseman? That's the reason I said obscure. That way for the PK for the Montreal Canadiens, I think we don't give them enough credit. We're going to talk about them about the PK in Montreal the next couple of minutes, but I think obscure for Mr. Tap is the PK for Montreal Canadiens. I think they helping the both W they get this week with the performance of the PK, and then the office, Mr. Tap. Um, Yes, Kirby Doc. And that's been what the only one you want more and more. And the star take the lead, guys, 2-1 again the Calgary Flame, and the 5-0 a turnover by the Flame again at the blue line. You talk about team turnover, Michel. We're only thinking about the Montreal Canadiens because we watch them. But this time, a turnover at the blue line open up another 2-1. Um, that's happening, and now the Star take the lead 2-1 over the Flames. Dustin Wolf. Here we go. So that's happening, Mr. Tap, on that obscure office. I don't want to, a good
Good
week for the
choices.
Montreal, so we're all good with that part. Next thing, Mr. Tap. Samuel Montembeault, last 10 game. 5-4-1. Goal again average of 2.0, Mr. Tap. 2 shutout. Edmonton Oilers and the Nashville Predator. And then you have a save percentage of 928 in the last 10 games. You have a game of 5 goals, I believe, or 1 goal of 4 games. But overall, Mr. Tap, this is he's getting there, right? Slowly, properly. He tried to limit his soft goal, everything. I think the reason Montreal are a little bit better on the last 12 games, 6-5-1. Montembeault is a part of one of the biggest, the big reason behind that. I think is the performance of the Montreal Canadiens between the pipe, because remember, since the beginning of the season, the Montreal Canadiens did not have a lot of great games for the goaltender. Like last year, we talk about the goal differential, 1 goal per game, right? The reason why, because the GSVA, the goaltender, was excellent. But right now, Montembeault play his best hockey since the beginning of the season. So I would like you to talk a little bit more about Montembeault.
Well, yeah, I think you said it all there, Coach. You're right. At the beginning of the year, both goaltenders were my main question mark. I figured if they can keep you in games and hide some of the mistakes that you make, then chances are you're going to have a successful year. But the problem becomes they also hide sometimes some of the problems or some of the gaps that you might have in your game. Um, However, you see it right there. How can you argue with those numbers? Last 10 games, it's not like they've been easy games for them either. He's come in and done his job, allowed 2 goals or less per game. He's got a couple shutouts in there, and a save percentage of almost 930. It's fairly consistent with what you would expect from your number one goaltender, just to keep you in those games. The rest is up to you in terms of getting out there offensively, making things happen, and defensively making sure that they don't get that second or third shot on net, or the defense making any mistakes. And I think that there's been improvement there as well. So, if they can sort of get it together with that second line, and I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but right now that I think that's the biggest missing link on the team, because that second line is not they're not contributing, and they need to be contributing offensively in order for the team to move forward.
Great point about that, Mr. Tap. We have this for you.
Breaking news.
Tyler Top, the 6'5" giant for the Vancouver Giant, Mr. Tap, after 2 periods. 3 assists for Tyler Top is 11, 12, 13 assists for Top tonight. Again, the Portland Wonderhawk, Mr. Tap. So Tyler Top explodes
the
with
human
3 points after yesterday at 0 point. A breakaway at 2-0 for Dallas. Missed that one. Anyhow, Tyler Top, Mr. Tap, 23 points in the beginning of the season. I'm sorry?
The human torpedo. Can't wait for this guy to continue to do what he's doing. Hopefully he'll make his way up to the big squad.
Really interesting, Mr. Tap, Tyler Top is a really interesting pick for the Montreal Canadiens. Of course, we were always thinking the Montreal Canadiens select the best player, they become that player. But again, it's a really a good project for the Montreal Canadiens at 6'5"
Yeah.
size, and we'll see what happening there. Now we have some kind of the pushing and front of net. The Justin Wolf looked like shaky on that one. We'll see what happening to him. But other top 3 assists, good for him. For
He
him,
could be he could be a steal at the round 5 when they drafted him. So let's hope. He's a righty as well on the right side. I think that he really has an edge to his game, and that's what is needed for a fourth line.
and also it's a guy that plays like he did well at the training camp with the rookie camp.
That's
Uh,
right. Yeah.
So look, I think for him is a great. A lot of people talk about defensemen for the Montreal Canadiens. A lot of great conversations going on about that. So I have to move on, Mr. Tap. And I just talk about this. They are my obscure players. And honestly, Mr. Tap, this is the biggest, I believe for me, this is the biggest surprise for the Montreal Canadiens. Their PK is number 5 in the standing.
It's good. It's
This,
amazing. I don't doubt it, Coach. I mean, if you break it down and you look at the players, I mean, we're seeing Evans playing a very good brand of hockey right now. He's playing the 200-foot game extremely well. You look at Josh Anderson was given that role, and he sort of embraced it, and he's doing well in helping out in that aspect. I think Dvorak is contributing with the penalty kill as well. The defenders are there. To me, it's not a huge surprise that they're doing well. Maybe the fact that they're fifth overall in the NHL at this stage is a bit more of a surprise, but good on them. I think that it gives them those players a specific role, and they embrace it very very much, so that they're able to help out the team in whatever fashion they can. Right.
yeah. For me, honestly, after years on the power play and on the PK, he's been at the bottom and at the bottom, right? I see this as really maybe the biggest surprise for me since the beginning of the season for the Montreal Canadiens. And I will have to give credit for the duo of Christian Dvorak and Josh Anderson most of the time. And then you have, of course, Jake Evans and Joel Amir. Um, they are really solid for the duo. They play a ton of minutes for the PK, Evans and Amir. And I think they are the reason the PK is better this year because the way they play. So I just want to mention that to you. By the way, the game of the Giants again, the Portland and the WHL Mr. Tap after 2 periods, 38 minutes of penalties so far. It looked like it's an old junior hockey game right now between the Giants and the Weather Hawk about that. So I have to give credit for that, Mr. Tap. We're looking for something to improve, and right now the special team. Maybe this is the best year since a long time ago. We see a good power play. They are right now 16 in the NHL power play at 21.4, and the PK is a fifth right now. And like A2 said, the special team that is not don't said anything. Look, the Nashville Predator. I say you're right about this, A2 for the Nashville Predator, but usually, if your special team is performing, you have a better chance to win game in NHL. You're always an exception at the rules. I always said that because always people remind me, look, that team don't do that. Oh, this team, this player does not do that. Look, but at the end of the day, Mr. Tap, I prefer to see Montreal Canadiens at the top 5 and the PK and on the top 10 or top 20 on the power play compare if he was but they have to improve the 5 versus 5. But looking for something positive for the Montreal Canadiens, I think this is really one thing for the Montreal since the beginning of the season. They do very well. So after 27 games, guys, they are fifth in NHL. So I think that's a great way to do that. Richard Jensen is in the house tonight. Welcome back. Thanks to be with us. Really, don't forget, please, to click on the likes. The people talk about Dak and Sakaski, Mr. Enortap. We don't reach that level until now. Does not look good, Mr.
Doesn't look
Enortap.
good.
Sakaski, 2 goals. Kirby Dak, 1 goal. Alex Newhook, 0 assists at the beginning of the season. Now, the other 3 players, Mr. Enortap, are considered to be our top 6. And only Patrick Laine is back in the last 3 games. Before that, we have Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, and they match up. They try to bring someone on the second line. And
Everybody.
that's what we are. And this is 3 players. First overall pick, trade Ramanov, trade a 13 overall pick after that to get Kirby Doc. Then they trade Alex Newhook for a 31 overall pick and a 37 overall pick. Now, I'm not going to mention the players because we won't talk about deep about that. But this is a 3 things that can use Jeff Gordon, Barov, and Martin Lapointe did for the Montreal Canadiens. And right now, nothing is successful with the 3 players right there. And this is why you rebuild a team. And when you rebuild a team in Enortap, nothing is guaranteed. And I'm going to make a video because I'm doing some search right now. But this could be a setback for maybe 1 to 3 years. And the rebuild team for Montreal Canadiens, and maybe miss completely the rebuild team. Because if you back up now 3 more years, next year is going to be 32 years old. Cole Caulfield is going to be 29 to 30 years old. This is not looking good for the Montreal Canadiens. And the people chat right now, but I'm really concerned right now with that situation for the Montreal Canadiens at this moment. This is the year, like Marco said all the time, this is a year of evaluation. But if we evaluate a Kirby Dak cannot play in the top 6, he's not a center number 2. But Montreal have to reset again. And this is not going to help again the rebuild team to be not quicker, but at least on the path of what they want to accomplish. And Alex Newhook, and then you have a Sakaski right there. Sakaski gets some help right now because of Logan Coley, Shane Wright, and the player performing in 2022. So I don't know what you think about this, but this is what I'm a little bit concerned right now for the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, Coach, there's a lot of layers to unravel here. I mean, the facts are the facts. The stats speak for themselves, and we see those numbers in front of us. No doubt about it. They're not performing at the level that they need to be in order for the team as a whole to be successful, and for that and these players themselves to move forward. But if we start to break it down, I mean, let's look at Slafkovsky first. Okay, we're still talking about a 20-year-old. This can be very much considered a sophomore jinx. It happens to many, many individuals, players in the NHL at some point or another. Development, I don't know how many times we said this. Development for players is not always a linear increasing graph where we see that, from one year they went from 20 points to 30 points to 50 points. There's years that you're going to have some regression for whatever reason. And we see it even with, some other players. It doesn't have to be a sophomore. Like we're seeing it this year with a Stamkos and a Marchessault. We're seeing it with a guy like Zibanejad in New York. It just happens. There isn't a rhyme or reason behind it. Having said that, though, he has to find his way. I think, Slafkovsky has the skills. He's demonstrated that he has them in the past. Is he going to be an all-star to the effect that he's going to get 80 plus goals a season? Maybe not. And that's something that we'll have to embrace. Was it the greatest draft class of all time? Definitely not. So, we have to take it for what it's worth, but it doesn't mean that he's a failure or the team has failed him. It's just we have to see how to get this guy to be motivated. And we've seen him go through these ups and downs before. So I don't have as much trepidation that he'll come out of it at some point. Doc is a little bit more concerning to me because a lot of what we said in terms of Kirby Doc was to see if he can be the true number 2 center for this hockey team, and right now he's not demonstrating it. If that's the case, I disagree a little bit, Coach, with what you said, that it will set them back 2 or 3 years in their progress, because it doesn't have to necessarily come from the draft. It could, especially if this year they don't finish very well. It's a half decent year to get yourself a solid centerman, and they're up there. I say within the top 5 or 6. There's at least 4 of them that are extremely good and would suit us well. But if we have to convert Doc to a winger, then I think he'd be more successful at that because there's less responsibility on the wing, right? Like mentally, he's not having to think the game through as much as he would if he were a centerman. So maybe that could help him out in the long run. Newhook is more of a case where he's been put in different situations and on different chairs. And, for me, he's a solid third line center or winger, preferably center, because I think he's got the speed and he's got a good sense to get himself and create the space for himself and for other players. So I think for him, it's more of a matter of just getting him in the right chair, and I think we'll see more success. And once we accept and embrace him as a third liner and what a third liner should bring to your team, then we'll see that it's not a lost cause here. If we're expecting him to come up with 60, 70 points in the year, then yeah, of course, he's not going to meet those expectations. And it's going to cause us to believe that this was, a bad trade. And again, time will tell in terms of whether it's a bad trade. I think it's easy at the beginning to dump on somebody or to jump on the bandwagon and admire what they're doing. But over time is when you really know if that trade that you did came to fruition and it served the team well. So yes, the numbers don't look good. Yes, they're all 3 performing well under expectations at this stage, but I don't think it's a lost cause. I think that there are ways that you can bring these 3 guys around, and it'll just take time.
Yeah, I'm watching for what's going on in the chat. Look, a great assessment about all 3 players, honestly, for the Montreal Canadiens. Sakowski is a little bit that, it's not about the point for me. It's about how he play. And Sakowski does not play at the level he should play right now. And this is what I believe is a little bit a concern. Flat on skating. Does not skating all the time. Does not give all the effort all the time. Inconsistencies in the beginning of the season. Mistake, mental mistake. Not awareness. His defensive side of the game is not like he was last season. So it's a lot of regression about Sakowski this year. Honestly, if we talk all together in the chat and you and me together, what is the progression of Sakowski this year? What he does really good. The Flame score, I don't know, is the call there, but the Flame tied the game, I believe. I don't know he's going to give the goal there because you have something happening at the same time. But
we'll have to see. Yeah.
Are you agree or disagree with me, like about Sakowski? I know say it's not going to be about it's a boss or whatever it is. I just said this year I don't see a lot of progression for Sakowski, more regression.
Yeah, there has been regression. Like I said earlier, I cannot defend the numbers because they are what they are. And there's even the eye test. We're seeing that he's more tentative. He's not skating as well as he did towards the last 50 games of last year. But again, Coach, I don't think that's if Martin St. Louis or anybody else on the team reacted to a limited number of games, and they'd be getting rid of a good third of this team at this stage right now. And it's very premature. I think you have to think, how do I get this guy motivated again? How do I get him to the level where he was performing before? And again, we're looking at the goals as well. Assist wise, he's not doing poorly. His point total, again, it's probably not where it should be, but it's also not. It's not like Doc's numbers or Newhook's numbers.
No, and the
He's still
precise
there.
you and Artab is like, like the point he got, right? For me, it's about what it's not about the points, about he
No,
create. If you don't score a lot of goal, you have to be a playmaking. You have to create. Now you have a positive and now the second line. The second line does not play the level, but he should run that line. He should become a playmaker. He does not do that. A blade driver, he don't do that. Uh, Other effect, he hit more this season. Sakeski does not reach those kind of the way he should be, and he did it last year. He did it second half with Caulfield and Suzuki. But you
right.
cannot
So
be with them to be a good hockey player in the NHL. You have to take care about your own ways, and we don't see that right now with Sakeski. That's what I feel like,
yeah,
and I can understand. He's 20 years old. Listen, if I'm one guy defend Sakeski's son, he play in NHL with Montreal, it's me. But at some
and
point,
me.
we have to find a way to say, wait a minute now. That's the reality. This is the facts. The facts are there. It's like I just mentioned, right? Sometimes he's just like a passenger on the ice. When I say passenger, Mr. Tap, it's not about the effort. It's about you watching too much. Again, he refused to shoot the puck on the net. Like he should use that wrist shot he has. So it's a learning process. I can understand that. It's not about the two goals, honestly. It's about the fact, like he was honestly to be a first overall pick, and right now he's not there, and he have a really bad year so far. And it could be that some of sophomore year be his third year. Some players, Alexis Lafreniere is one of them, right? And we'll see with the time. Why he's looking bad right now is because people is like everything else. We always compare players on the NHL draft. When you first of all pick, of course you're going to be on on the social media. People will talk about this way. And right now, Logan Cooley have an excellent year this year. Scored a goal tonight. Shane Wright, I think, he has 6 goals in the last 8 games. Um, so it's where right now it's a little bit more pressure on Sakaski, whatever you know. And again, he talked well after the press conference or the morning, pre-game or after the game, But at the end, it's the you don't only have to talk, you have to walk to walk. Right now, he forgot to walk. He honestly he can tell all the great words, but this is going on right now with Sakaski.
Yeah, and the thing is, he can't put too many roles ahead, like in front of him to try to complete all at once. I think once you're at this stage, I mean, the NHL is very much like this, Coach. We saw in the first year that he played, he seemed lost, right? He was pushed off the puck a lot. He would have his head down quite a bit. And then what did he do the second year? He made an adjustment over. He worried about being more physically involved. He worried about carrying the puck a little bit more, and we saw results from it. Now, of course, the NHL is going to make adjustments to counteract some of the things that are being done. The onus now is on him and the coaching staff to try to bring him in a position where there is success, and that success should not be necessarily measured by numbers. It's about taking small victories along the way when you get them. And if it's getting an assist, that's one thing. If it's getting 3 or 4 hits, or just skating and making sure that, as you said, you're creating plays and carrying the line, then that should be his focus. The numbers aren't what they should be. I don't, I can't argue that. But I think this is a kid. I haven't seen him lose his confidence. Like, he still says the right things. I think he knows that he's a kind of kid that will improve his game because it's just inbred in him. You can see that he wants to do well. So it's just a matter of figuring out what's going to get him going, and it has to be measured in small increments. And once he achieves one good thing, then you move on to improving on something else. But I refuse to say this guy is a bust. I don't see that. You don't get these kind of guys growing on trees with that size and the ability. Like, if he hadn't done it all in the 2.5 years that he's been here, then I'd be more on the verge of thinking along the same lines. But
It would take me some
you
time, at
know,
least 5 years, before you can say this was a bad trade, a bad pick, or a
absolutely,
boss or anything like that. You
absolutely,
cannot say this right away after 1 or 2
exactly.
years or 3 years, whatever they are right now. So I'm not go that way.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree 100%. And to make comparisons, I mean, each prospect class is all different. Each draft class is different. So to compare one player with somebody else from a previous year, it's really not a fair comparison to be made. And no two players develop at the same rate. That's the other thing we forget. Like, there's some players that come and they make an impact right away the first year, and there's some that we're seeing takes 3, 4, 5 years sometimes. And then, unfortunately, there are some that don't quite reach the expectations that either the team or the league had of him from the first place. So we'll see, but I don't think that it's an alarming thing to put ahead of us. I think this kid will bring quite a bit to this team. It's just a matter of how do we harness this? How do we get him to feel more confident in what he's doing?
um, A2, honestly, no. From Elliot Freeman, it looked like Sakowski worked very hard at the training at home in Slovakia. So um, I don't think so. For what I heard, so maybe, and I think for me, I don't want to blame everybody all the time, everything, but you know, I think it's a lot of players never recover, never have a training camp. Like, I think it's start right there. I think players never get there, and then mentally, for a 20 years old, it's easy. Think about this: you're a first overall pick. You're 20 years old. You have an amazing, great second half of the season last year. You prove it. You did it, right? You start the season with Caulfield and Suzuki. You expect good number. You expect to be good, and then boom, you don't play with that line. You play on the second line. You have only 2 goals. Mentally, it's a really big challenge for Sakowski. Not an excuse, Mr. Top, but that's the real thing. He's only 20 years old, so we'll see
No,
what
it's the
happens about
reality.
that.
Yeah,
Could be that, we know, Mr. Tap. The only thing I would say to you, Mr. Tap, for could be that for the people in the chat. They have some kind of research. It was out this week about everybody have an injury like Kirby Doc. And the success of those players come back after that and they have a good number like they was before, it's only 30%. This is really low. So only
it is.
30% have a major injury like Kirby Doc. Can back in NHL and play at the same level they was before, or they play better. So we have to accept that situation could be that. Um, but what there was the my point behind that, Mr. Antal, honestly, tonight was not looking good. It was not about only for the players, right? But about the building, the rebuild team, the team was it focusing, Mr. Antal, with the direction they want to go with that player there on the whiteboard. So um, I'm not going to blame Kirby Dakalau yet. I think for me, I have to wait until next year to honestly to say, you know what, could be a really bad trait, or it could be not good for the Montreal Canadiens. And so I'm not going to go push him right away out of the box, or because of that situation. Injury like this is really hard. We see some flash for Kubiak the last 2 weeks or so, but last 6 games we see a couple better engagement. Not perfect. We still have a couple of mistakes there, but we see some good things there. The goal was not there, but until you work hard and you try the best you can, you cannot ask for more. And that's what we're looking for him, is to be more engaged and to make an effort, and at least you work. And that's what we want from Kirby. That now for Alex Newhook, this guy, it's for me, it's not surprised me. Yeah, 6 goals right now, 0 assists. I understand no assists. You have a lot of minutes on the top 6. You play power play at some point, but my expectation for Alex Newhook is in the beginning, Mr. Enortap, is a great, good third line in NHL. Until it does not reach that share, right? It's hard. It's a little bit like everybody telling me right now, put Emil and Emin on the third line, second line, first line. Honestly, for me, no. Let me and Emin there. He play a good role at the four line. It's not because you're going to jump in and play 20 games in the third line, he's going to produce more. I don't see that yet. Now, he's going to get there. I'm not sure about that, but we'll see about him. But Alex Newhook, this guy is just the wrong share. That's him. That's my answer on that, Alex Newhook. I don't know if you agree with disagree with me.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I said earlier, Coach. I think the fact that he's been all over the map in terms of where he's played. He's played on the first and second line, and where he really belongs is on that third line. And again, don't expect huge numbers out of him, but he's a guy that can at least drive the play. He can drive that third line. Whether it's at center or on the wing, we don't know that 100% yet. I think he could handle center, but would probably be even a more effective winger in my eyes. So he has to be at that position in order for him to properly succeed. Now, having said that, he's the last couple of games he's looked a little bit more engaged in the play. So hopefully, he's turning the corner a little bit. But yeah, you have to be in the right position from the beginning in order to experience success.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. A2 talk about compare Mishkov and Rebecca. I said no, A2. I'm going to type in that answer, but we said no verbally. I would say to you, A2, it's not about Rebecca and Mishkov. Mishkov does not want to play Montreal. You can draft a player, but Mishkov doesn't want to play.
And even
here.
if he did.
So at the end of the day, Mr. Enortap, you have to compare Rebecca versus Rand Leonard. If you want to compare the real knob there, you have to compare that one. Now, if you want to compare Michkov, you have to go all the way before that. Michkov versus Bedard. Michkov versus, is it the year the Fantasy Smith and Carlson? Right? That's the year.
I believe so,
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for me, this is what I see that. So at the position number 6 or 5th, Montreal Canadiens, when they select Rebecca, Mishkov is not on the board. Mishkov doesn't want to play here. And Montreal doesn't want to play in Arizona, doesn't want to play in Columbus, he doesn't want to play. Mishkov wants to play only one place in the Flyers. So if you want to compare Mishkov, well, you cannot compare Mishkov with Rebecca. You have to compare Rebecca versus Rand Leonard. And Leonard does not play any game like Rebecca in NHL. This is why I see that one if you want to compare two players about that. 2 questions, Mr. Enortap. First of all, from Nicholas. Nicholas said about Sekowski, and I apologize, Mr. Enortap. I have to go back at the question. Mr. Enortap, I missed that one. I don't know why I cannot get it. Let me see that, Mr. Enortap. He asked, will Sekowski be better than Lucas Raymond?
He could be at that level. I don't see why not. I mean, Raymond's having a decent year this year as well for Detroit. He seems to be more consistent. I don't see why he can't be at that level and then some. As a matter of fact, I would argue if he can get his act together and come playoff time, he's going to be much more effective than Raymond will be.
I think this is a great question, Mr. I think this is a
Yeah,
great question because it's two players similar,
I agree.
uh,
Very.
right? Sakis a bit more physical que Raymond, but I think Raymond is a better scorer as Sakis. Have a better wrist shot.
Yes.
But this is a great way about that. It could be pretty even, Nicholas, about that. But I think it's the two. One Remo be a little bit better on two categories, and then Sarkisky being better on the two categories. That will be interesting at long term. Um, Nicholas, if ever, I would say this, Mr. Tap, if ever the Montreal Canadiens made the playoff or the Red Wings, the Detroit Red Wings made the playoff, but now we can see what they look like during the playoff, and that would be really great to compare both players at long term. So we have to wait about that. Send the man. Do you think that bringing us Jared Davidson or Owen Beck for some game, perhaps sit back for one game or two game is a good situation for the Montreal Canadiens?
I don't think they sit Doc at all. I think they have to allow him to work through his obstacles, and a lot of it is mental. We talked about that earlier. Like it's not easy to come back from the injury that he had, and like I said, it might turn out to be that he's going to be a winger for us in the future. That part has to be ironed out, and the way you iron it out is by giving him playing time and seeing what he can achieve at those different spots. So I I don't think it serves any purpose to sit Doc. Not now and not down the road. If it's especially since it's an evaluation for him.
Yeah,
And again,
yeah, more talk about Shevnikov, Andrei Shevnikov versus Sakoski. I think Sakoski, Shevnikov is better scorer. Yeah, more about that for that one.
yeah,
So that's happening, guys. About the subject of the night. I think we have a lot of great comments, guys. I like it. I like it. We have fun opinion, and
it is.
that's okay.
It is,
Um,
but
XL have his fun vision. Abination have his fun. Abination really believe him. He like physical guy. He like big size. Nothing wrong with that part. XL, he believe is Dimitrov first center for Montreal Canadiens. Uh, so everybody count. A2 is concerned and Roy are concerned about Rebecca. They believe he's not going to make a good career in NHL. That's a good. That's nothing wrong with that part. We have fun opinion and we think it's friendly. And that's okay. I'm not wrong. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. And A2 is not right or wrong. With the time we tell us exactly what happening in the first serve for the Montreal Canadiens, and that's happening with the player
and
also.
I think that's the key takeaway from all of this, Coach. Like right now, it's easy to make a comparison and say, well, look at Reinbacher has had 2 injuries and he won't be here for 2 or 3 years. But when he does get here, is he going to contribute to the team in a capacity that will allow him to be an effective playoff team? That's what you have to ask yourself. I mean, you can say things like, okay, if we had selected Michkov, great, but would they have selected Demidov in the following year if that were the case, or would they be able to have Caulfield of and Michkov on the same team? I think not, if that were the case. So you'd be looking at getting rid of probably somebody like Caulfield, who's having a very good year, and we can see what he's capable of. I think a lot of the tales are told when a number of years have gone by, and not 2 or 3 years, but it might have to be 7, 8, 9, even 10 years, and then at the end you can sort of look at the data and you can see what they've contributed to their respective teams, and then you make a determination to say, hey, yeah, that was a bad trade, or it was a bad draft, it was a bad decision that was made by the scouts of the team, but not before that. I think it's hugely unfair to compare these things at this stage in their careers. It's like I said before, they develop at different levels and different paces. So let's give them the time to show us what they have, and then we can make decisions based on the results.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I tried to answer. This is a great question for Ron King. He said that if Michkov refused to play an NHL for the team, draft him. He said Montreal, but it could be any other team. It's not that. Are he returning on the draft after that? Yes or no? So the
I'm not sure
question,
I understood the
okay. So
question.
the question is, Michkov get drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, and
If they drafted him, yeah.
they draft him, and then he refused to play with Montreal. What is the solution for Michkov? Are he's going to returning on the NHL draft after
Well,
that? Or yes or no?
well, I think if Montreal had drafted him, he would be with the team, and that would present a whole different issue of problems if his mindset is not here. Like, we don't have to go further than thinking about the times when Lindros refused to go to Quebec and and was not going to play for them if he was drafted by them. Like,
Yeah. So
Coach, I think we have to, when we look backwards, right? We have to look at what has Hughes and Gorton tried to establish. They've tried to establish a particular type of climate here, where the players want to be here, B are willing to contribute to the team in their maximum capacity, and if in their interviews when they're talking to these players, if they sense any of that in a player, that they don't necessarily want to be there, or the mindset doesn't, I'm not saying it's a wrong mindset, but maybe it doesn't fit what you're trying to create in Montreal, then they're not going to draft that because they know it's going to create problems down the road. We're not there at the draft. We're not there with the scouts that discuss the players when prior to the draft themselves. So it's hard to speculate and say, this is a bad pick. I'm sure they do their work, they do their due diligence, and they go with what they feel is best for the team.
yeah, so I just want to answer that answer for Mr. Attack for Ron and then N26. A player from Europe belong to the team 3 or 4 years. College players, right, are held by the team for years. You're right about this, N26. So the CHL junior is 2 years. The NCAA is 4 years. Now you have a new agreement between NCAA and the junior could change. But right now, this is the situation. So you get draft, and after that, you have 2 years if the team to sign the players. And August 15, if they don't sign after 2 years, but the player returning, it could be UFA or he returning in the draft too. He cannot be returning in the draft, but he can be UFA after that. For the college players, guys, the situation is this way: is a players at 4 years, or he has the summer after he decide to play in the professional. There's no returning and say they have until the August 15, I believe, to sign him. If not, he become UF3 uh,
Yeah.
after that. And for the player, same thing with the European players. They have 4 years of eligibility for the NHL draft. But it's different for Russian players. The Russian player guys is honestly don't have that kind of the choice, because when they stay in the KHL, the contract continues over there. And when they are done with the contract, the team has still have the right of the players. So until the team does not do anything about that, the player cannot returning on the draft, or he cannot play. Um, he cannot play and with any other team. He's not become UFA. So that's the difference between everything right there. So that's happened about that. Roy said it's too much weight giving to character over pure skill for the Canadian. Well, I think Montreal
I
Canadiens tried to
disagree.
build a culture, Roy, I believe, and that culture is they're looking about the character of the players, and it could be things they are some kind of the characteristic, or they have they have a psychology coach, sport, and they have a couple of players, people, staff, and they have built a kind maybe a template, Mr. Attack, with different categories, and if the player does not reach that level when they interview, That's maybe what they're not looking for. So they balance between the character of the players and, of course, the skill of the talent of the players. So Mishkov in Montreal does not maybe not fit for what the Montreal is thinking. But again, Mishkov is a different case. It's a bit like Gauthier. How the Gauthier said, I don't want to play with the Flyers. He left the building. Mishkov said, I want to play with the Flyers. Roger McCarty said, I don't want to play with the Jet. He left the building. So
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Pierre-Luc Dubois did it. So it's a part of who they are. That's not make them a bad player on the NHL. They just show the character of the players. Now for Mitch Carves now is to see how he's going to carry on the Flyers in the playoff. How he's going to performing in the playoff. He can become a Malkin. We'll see. The time will tell us about Mitch Carves. And that's the way I see that for the Montreal Canadiens. But Mr. Tap, talk about Lennartson, the phenomenon. Lennartson, Mr. Tap, 18 points in the beginning of the season, 0 goal. 6 games right now straight with 1 point, exactly like Nick Skis on that span. He has 7 points, Mr. Tap. And this could be one of the top NHL play of the year at the end of the season. 2-0, Mr. Tap, at the end of the first period. We scored a goal there. Harry Harper, Mr. Tap, the number 19 for the Montreal Canadiens. And we have Lennartson, not the same categories, honestly, but what a great play by Lennartson. But you put him as a stood-out player tonight. But honestly, is maybe the best player for the Montreal Canadiens this year. Game after game. He can make mistakes. It's a rookie year, right?
Yeah.
He a little bit more concerned right now. He does less skating, carrying the puck like he was before. He's going to turn over the puck. He's going to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, Mr. Tap, we don't see this sometimes what he does with his stick. Intercept the puck on defensive zone. He beat a player 1-versus-1, not because his weight, it's because the way he's pushing himself. And this is, guys, a really solid players. We have a discussion yesterday about, do you draft Sheffer and you trade Lennartson? There's going to be a debate at some point because this is going to be interesting at the NHL. I think it was N26, by the way, about that. But, guys, this is what Lennartson is going to be for the Montreal Canadiens, and it's exciting. It's really exciting.
Definitely,
we have him, 62 overall pick.
Yeah, he's definitely been the most consistent player for Montreal all year long. And you can tell every game he's learning something new. And he's really emphasizing now, trying to get back and making sure that he doesn't get beat defensively. And he's becoming very effective at it, Coach. I know he's made a few mistakes here and there, but he learns from those mistakes. You don't see the same type of mistake twice from him.
Yeah. So far, we cannot complain about Lennartson. Again, one of the best players for the Montreal this season.
So when we look at for this year, the Calder Trophy, and last time we were together, I think it was with Devin and also Marco, and we discussed, the possibilities. Is he a finalist? I say absolutely, because he's doing this as a defenseman, which is even harder. Usually, defensemen take a little bit longer to develop, but he's fitting in seamlessly with the team. And look at how he's brought himself now up to the level that he's on the PP1. He's a quarterback. You can tell that he finds the open player on the power play, and so we shouldn't be surprised that the power play is clicking at the level that it is. I mean, a good chunk of that is due to his contributions.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Otten. We want to talk about the Laval Rocket. 2-0-1 this week. Very good week for the Laval Rocket. Great performance overall of them. Honestly, a big game against the Crunch to get the W. Wednesday night with Owen Beck, game-winning goal and overtime. And then Friday night, they lost, obviously, and again on shootout against the Marlins. But they came back yesterday. This is guy, the teddy bear, that night, Adam Ekstrom, and hurricane is on top of teddy bear on the ice at the Laval. Only at Laval you can see that, honestly. and
That's
Laval won
fantastic.
yesterday. A really entertaining game, 5-4 for the Laval Rocket yesterday. We got Owen Beck with 3.2 goal for Owen Beck. The game-winning goal with 24 seconds remaining. Uh, it's entertaining, Mr. Tap and Laval. It's fun to watch. 8,000 people every night, sometimes more. And the team performed very well as a young team, but they look like they have a good time all together, and they are excited to play Laval. It was a great game yesterday when Laval scored 4 goals during the third period to get a W last night. Obviously, Tobesh left the game Friday night after an injury at the beginning of the second period. Hughes was between the pipe for Laval Rocket. Great week for Owen Beck this week with the Laval Rocket. He has approximately 5 points, if I can recall it, Mr. Tap. 5 points.
5, yeah.
Joshua Webb, 3 points. Adam Ekstrom, Mr. Tap. We talk about
He's
Logan
turned the
Mayu.
corner.
But right now, Adam Ekstrom is really the QB, the best defenseman for the Laval Rocket on that fight. A quiet week for Davidson this week, honestly. But good performance. Ali Bariboulet also. Condoda not play at the level he was before he was play with Laval after he got called up for the Montreal Canadiens. But good week for the Laval after maybe last 5 game of the 6 game. They're still on the first position, but now the Cleveland Lumberjack reached them on the first place, and the Marlins are also a better winning percentage. So it's a very difficult North Division in American Hockey League, but it's fun to watch. It's entertaining, and this is a prospect for the Montreal Canadiens. Luke Tuck was back in the lineup yesterday, Friday night, and they're going to play. He contributed better yesterday compared to Friday night. He was returning on the 4 line last night afternoon. So that's how I got about that. So I don't know if you want to add more things about the Laval Rocket.
I like Engstrom's game. I think he's really turned it around, Coach. He's emphasizing his defensive play a lot more, and at at the cost of his offense, because he can contribute offensively. He's shown that in the past, but I think he knows that if he wants a fair shot to be in Montreal, and I think he's going to get that, he has to show that he can perform at that level defensively, and I see it in him. With Beck, I've always been enamored by Beck and his play and his mindset. I think he's going to be the perfect uh, third line center for Montreal, a guy that'll be able to contribute in many different ways, and he's got a bite to his game. I like his attitude, but I also like the fact that he seems to be clutch. He scores key points at key times in the game. So I hope he continues to develop in this fashion, because it won't be long before he's up with the major team.
Great point about that. Look, and I think some people talk about maybe call up Beck or Davidson or Engstrom, everything. I would say to you guys, no. Let them in Laval. Let them play Laval.
Yeah,
Let them
let him
be a
marinate.
really a leader in Laval. Owen Beck right now run that team most of the point right now with the Laval Rocket. Let him there. Now at the end of the year, Mr. Tap, maybe 1 or 2 games if you need that. But I will not do this. I will keep everything in Laval right now until not call up at least no injuries, of course, right, Mr. Tap. But
Yeah,
leave them there and let them have a good time over there, become progress, develop, get that kind of the winning culture. We talk about this, and I think this is the way to get there. Nothing wrong with Owen Beck next year with Montreal Canadiens for sure. A great question for Mike Perrault. Can Owen Beck become the Guy Carbonneau?
uh, it's possible. It's possible. I think Carbonneau had a lot more to offer from an offensive perspective than Beck does. As a matter of fact, when he was in juniors, he was a very high scoring hockey player. So he had to change his game in order to fit with the Montreal Canadiens at that time. But yeah, he kind of reminds me of that, and probably more of an edge to him than Guy Carbonneau. But I think Guy Carbonneau could contribute a little bit more offensively.
Yeah, it could be that way, for sure. But it could be similar, Miss Enortap. I think it'll be
Similar,
another
yeah.
great guys turnover by the Calgary Flames, and then create a goal for the Dallas Star. And Ramis Anderson, Marco want to have tonight responsible of the 2 3 goal, Miss Enortap, of the Dallas Star. Pinch
No
at the blue
comment.
line. And you know what is Kevin Bott is upset about that goal. Two players jumping, guys, on the same players for the Dallas, for the Calgary.
Wow. So it's 3-2 now?
3-2 now, yeah. Thought on Shane Wright, hot level of play as the late. Have a great run right now for you. 6 goals the last 8 games for you. We have to give credit for the young man. Is looking about that. Thomas Plecanet, Miss Enortap.
Plekanec? What
Owen
about him?
Beck. For Owen Beck.
No, Plekanec was a top 6 player. He
Yeah.
had some really solid years with Montreal. He put up some excellent numbers. I don't see Beck ever really reaching those types of numbers. Uh, they're
But
different kinds of players.
but the Beck,
Different
Mr.
kinds.
Enortap, this is what you like. I always said the reason behind that. Beck is a winner. Beck,
Yes.
he find to get those kind of goal, the important goal. The guy can. This is going to be Owen Beck, guys. I believe for me, I could be wrong, but this could be a really solid player in the playoff and NHL.
Yeah,
This is
totally.
a guy. The
Like I
guy is
said,
going to get that
he's
kind
a
of goal, like
he's
he
a
did in
clutch
Memorial
player.
Cup. Look what he did. Yeah, it's only week, and that's what he is. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
he's a
Mr. Tap.
clutch player.
If Montreal
What
can
happened?
put the puck in the net, the Star hit the post 3 times, back to back to back. One Wolf, he was not in the net. When Wolf
That's
was on
okay.
his belly, Mr. Tap, or Wolf was on his back. The Dallas Star did everything. One hit the defenseman. The 2 other was a pose after that. So it's funny to see that. Anyhow, um, we'll see about Owen Beck. But I think for me, you're right when you say he's not going to be a top 6. But he's the kind of player who could be a solid third center in NHL. And he could join the second line when you need it. That would be a mix sometime to go
Yeah,
up and down
yes.
for that one. We have to see again what's happening with Owen Beck. Great point. Rod again was very difficult to play again. Great point about that.
True.
Well, that's the reason he plays so many years. So, Mr. Before we finish the show, a lot of great conversation. I just want to share with the clash. But before that, the pipeline for Montreal Canadiens guys, Kapanen and Owen Bratz scored 2 goals during the weekend. Game-winning goal for Owen Bratz during that. Unfortunately, the video of the Bradford Bilford are not very good, but it is what it is. Bratz 2 goal Friday night. Kapanen have 2 goals during the weekend, also with the team Timra have 3 goals and the last 2 games. Kapanen have 8 points in 9 games for that them. And now we have Logan Sawyer right now scored his second goal career in NCAA for the Providence. Providence beat both team, the Colorado College during the weekend. Sawyer have 1 goal, 1 assist on the weekend. So good to see Logan Sawyer, guys. Another player draft late by the Montreal Canadiens. And for Michael Edge, obviously an ankle injury Thursday morning put him out of the lineup for on the roster for the weekend. Jacob Fuller did not win this weekend, but he did not lose, Mr. Tap. It's happening. You don't have no shootout in the college, Mr. Tap. It's more about the after overtime. It's a tie game. Fuller stopped 32 of the 35 shot he faced during the weekend. Vessel Rover, great game yesterday. 3 assists for Rover yesterday. And I tried to pick up something
He's an
else.
interesting one.
Mr. Tap.
Yeah.
Another
Yes, sir.
top 4 assists tonight.
Scored again. 4 assists.
Yep.
That must be a career
his
high.
teammate, Atem Tilbach, scored 3 goals for the Giants, beat the Portland for the score 5-2 tonight. So Tyler Thorpe, 4 assists for that one. So, Mr. Atta, the clash before we leave the building and the preview of the week for the Montreal Canadiens, I'm going to give you who has a good week last week. First of all, the clash, like I mentioned to you, and we'll be a little bit quick. Absolutely or not allowed, Mr. Enortap. We'll see if we are agree or not. We talk about them tonight, so we're not to have a question for them, Mr. Enortap. So about prediction a little bit tonight. Sakaski plus Kirby Dak. Put this together. All right, 25 goal a plus at the end of the year. Absolutely or not allowed.
What are we at now? What's their totals?
3 goal.
I will say not at all. They'll come close. They'll come close between the two of them. I think Slav will probably bear most of those 25 goals in terms of achieving that goal. But right now I'm not seeing it from Doc, so not at all.
So they played 27 games on tap. So I'll give them approximately what? 55 games. 55
right.
game for the remaining of the season.
Right. So
they have to score. They have to score 22 goals in the next 55 game.
Hard to do. Unless one of them turns the corner, which obviously can be a possibility. I don't, but I just based on the eye test and what I'm seeing right now, I don't see him reaching that goal collectively.
Yeah, I will go with you. Not at all. Thanks for all the points. So a lot of people said not at all also for that. I was not pretty sure at the beginning of the season, Mr. Top, but it is what it is. All right, Montreal Canadiens. The PK will be at the top 10 at the end of the season.
That's a good one. That's an interesting one. It'll be tough. They might get close to it. But I don't see them reaching the top 10 because I think there's some very strong teams with excellent power plays out there, and you can probably, you can come up with 5 teams in each conference that fit that bill, and Montreal's not quite there yet. I think they'll improve from I think they're at 15 right now. I think they'll improve to maybe around 12 if things continue the way they are, only because they have two solid power play units now that they can throw at teams. But it's going to be tough to reach top 10. So I'll say not at all.
And you have a great asset. I will save you on another thing, Santa. I will give you a little bit more. I think it's because Montreal going to do at the trade deadline trade Devorak, Savard, and maybe Jake Evans.
Yeah.
So the PK is going to be affected. We talk about, and I forgot Armia. So we have Armia, Savard, Devorak. 3 of the 4 play on the PK. So not at all.
Yeah.
So we are agree so far. This is a good one now. We're going to go NHL, Mr. Santa. We'll be back with Montreal after that. Martin Descaches, more points que Kirill Kaprizov.
He'll end up with more points than Kaprizov?
At the end of the year.
Not at all. Kaprizov, I mean, I love what Marty Necas has done this year. Like in the off season, this is one of the players that I said, we should have targeted and tried to get from Carolina, but and all credit to him. He's gotten off to a fantastic start, but then I think so has Kaprizov, and Kaprizov is so much more dynamic. He's on the power play. He's in critical situations at key times in the game. He really drives that line and is dangerous. Like he can create space for himself just by the way he skates and has great puck handling skills, great shot. So I'll say not at all.
Mr.
Breaking
Tap, sometimes
news.
we did read some news in baseball. The New York Mets gave a contract of 15 years for $765 million to Juan Soto.
Yes, the Mets did. I predicted that as well.
Oh,
I knew it wasn't going to be Toronto. I knew it wasn't. He wasn't coming here.
congratulations for Soto. $765 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's another reason why I don't watch baseball. That was another subject, Mr. Tap, for another time. Caulfield, more goal at Jack Hughes at the end of the year.
Absolutely, I believe he will. Hughes Hughes can do many good things. I think he's a fantastic player for New Jersey. I don't see him hitting 40 plus goals though, to be honest with you. Whereas I can see Caulfield reaching that goal. So I'm going to go with Caulfield will score more goals. So absolutely.
All right. For that one, Dallas Stars scored a goal, Mr. Tap, 4-2.
4-2. We need Calgary to get a point. Come on.
Ah, Mr. Tap. Do you remember who was the last player wearing number 63 for the Montreal Canadiens?
63. No, I don't. I don't recall 63.
He just scored a goal. It's 8 of the season, Mr. Tap.
For who?
Dallas Star.
Oh, that's got to be that enough then.
That enough, Mr. Tap. Another player with the Montreal Canadiens have success with other team. That enough,
Oh,
Mr. Tap, I believe, was underrated. I know he did not do well with Montreal, but look what he did with the Florida Panthers. Didn't do well with Ottawa Senators, but after that he did well with the Dallas Stars. So I think for me that enough. Great hockey players, Mr. Tap. He play a solid role with the Dallas Stars at bottom six with 8 goals right now. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, not bad.
All right, Mr. Tap, the last one of the night. Montego played one game with Team Canada at the Four Nations.
Somehow I knew you were going to go there. Yes, I'll go with absolutely. I think he will play one game, um, simply because it's a round robin tournament, and I think Canada in the 3 games that they play against the other teams will probably divide it equally, just to see who they will go with in the finals. So I'll say yes, absolutely.
So that 5-2.
Uh-oh. Dadanov again?
Sam Steele scored a goal.
Oh, Sam Steele. He had a serious injury.
It looked like he's tipped, but it looked like now Arley is going to get the goal for the Dallas Star.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
in front of that. Montego, a lot of people, Roy said no way. Roy does not like
No.
Montego at all.
Uh,
Claude said not at all. Pete said we won game. Montego played one game and 26. I believe it will happen with Santa.
yeah, I think one game he plays.
I believe it's going to happen. So we'll be interesting to see that. For that, it was a clash for tonight, Mr. Enortap, on that one. We all bit agree tonight, so we don't have a big clash. It was more like an agreement tonight, Mr. Enortap. Montreal played 3 games this week.
Yes, sir. Your
Together,
Bible.
my Bible. Last week, Montreal a 4 points. Luciano Graziano, Enortap, and for you are the winner last week, right?
Predicted, yes.
So
Signed,
this week
sealed.
we go to repeat now. About that, Anaheim, Pittsburgh, and Winnipeg, Mr. Enortap.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Anaheim is Monday. Thursday is Pittsburgh. Let's see. Wednesday, Saturday they got Winnipeg. Now, the one thing I do like is they usually play a very good game against Winnipeg. If you look at the last 2 or 3 years, they've always been either very competitive or outright have won against Winnipeg, whether it's at home or in Winnipeg. And I believe
Winnipeg.
this game is in Winnipeg. So I think they can possibly steal a point out of there. And I like their chances. Pittsburgh's played better lately, as has Anaheim a little bit, but I'm going to go with 4 points again. 4 points. I think they can get 4 points out of all of this.
Yeah, I'll be a troublemaker, Mr. Enortap, tonight. I will go with 3 points.
3. Okay, we shall see.
They're going to lose against Winnipeg. And
Oh, coach, you got to give them credit. Come on.
no,
They've
Winnipeg,
been
they're going to lose over there. And
Winnipeg's it's in a bit of a slump right now.
and then Pittsburgh or Anaheim, they're going to get supposed to beat them, but Pittsburgh guys could surprise Montreal, so I gave them
Yeah,
1 point.
that's my fear, I think.
Bob's go with 2 points. Bob's
Look at what they did to the Leafs on Saturday.
Larry Lavalley go with 4 points.
Way to go, Larry.
Pizza go with 3 points. We're going to put Luc Lafortune at 0 point. You don't have to write this. Look, we got it. Luc Fortin go with 4 points, Mr. Enortap. You get an open door right now here for the people with 4 points tonight. So we have Ronnie at 5 points. We have Abination at 6 points. Bob at 2
Way to
points.
go,
Nobody
Ronnie.
took 1 point so far.
No, that's good.
So we'll see what's happening about that one, Mr. Enortap. On that one. Here we go. Roy go with 1 point. Here we go. Roy like I love it. Roy. Roy said, you know what? I'm going to go with 1 point with the Montreal Canadiens. And you got Gary. Notre ami Gary.
Amigo.
Go ahead.
No. Go. What do we have?
Luc Lafortune said
Gary?
no. 4 points, Mr. Enortap.
That's it. Now he's wearing the rosy-colored glasses.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
at least he
that's
tried to
rude.
win this week, Luc. And after at least you make an effort à la Kirby Doc this week, Mr. Enortap. We'll see what's happening, Mr. Enortap. That's what we got that evening on this show tonight. We have other subject. I'm going to keep it on the notebook about that. Bob Smith, Mr. Enortap. Bob was quiet tonight, right?
Bob's very cerebral.
Bob Smith
like
was
that.
quiet tonight.
He's
RJ,
thinking.
how many points, RJ?
Listen,
RJ, he asked everybody, guys, we're missing 2 likes to get 50. That'd be great if we can get 2 likes about that.
hit
And
those
26,
likes.
how many points tonight? And 26, I did not get your number, the point, and 26, and RJ Calabro. If you want to give us your point, that'd be great. If you don't mind, that'd be awesome. About that. So what we got tonight, Mr. Enortap, we have other subject, but I will going to keep. I want to talk about the Markov jersey, the Montreal Canadiens draft, and the rumor about the Montreal Canadiens. So we have to wait until the notebook will be Tuesday night. And David and Marco is going to join me live Tuesday night about that. Don't forget, tomorrow night we'll go to the game, 7:30, Mr. Enortap, Anaheim versus the Montreal Canadiens. If you like the
Canadiens.
NFL, the Chiefs, after the lead 13-0, now they're losing 14-13. But the Chiefs, Mr. Enortap, is like a basketball team. Only watch the last 2 minutes of the game, and then you can see the winning basketball shot. That will be the same thing. You're going to see Holmes carry on the field from 26 yards all the way to the touchdown or a field goal to give the Kansas City a winner tonight at 24-21.
They should be called the Kansas City Swifties.
But now we have an interception by Holmes, and my Holmes, by the way. So, and 26 go 6 points this week. RJ Calabro, Mr. Tap, answer to our question. They go with 4 points tonight on this show. And that's conclude the show tonight. And 26 go with 6 points, Mr. Tap.
Wow, great.
Awesome.
Great, optimism there.
Mr. Tap, this is the end. What is the end? What's happening, Mr. Tap? It's because that's who you are.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Exactly. That's who you are, Mr. Tap. Bring a lot of great knowledge about hockey tonight. Again, great performance of Moderator Luciano Runway Kings tonight. We want to thank all the people. Click on the likes. If you don't mind, that'd be great. Missing 2 likes to get out the zone, with 50. And then Roger Delaney, Mr. Tap, with super chat tonight, $6.99. Thanks so much, Roger. And a lot of great conversation, Mr. Tap. Will not follow up in the chat because we are busy talking about different things. A lot of great conversation about Sekowski tonight at Kirby Dock. And a lot of people in the chat was really great talking about the Montreal Canadiens. So thank you so much, everybody, to be a part of the show tonight. I didn't start the music, Mr. Tap. That's the problem. But it's okay. It's not a big deal.
That's okay.
We're going to catch up.
That's all right.
We're going to listen, let her moon talking and sing the song what we do every night. Mr. Tap, another week. Are you ready with your Santa Claus suit? You're going to, when do you start your parade? Is it the next Saturday? You're going to do a Toronto downtown parade, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna start, in the local areas first, and then go outside a little bit and cover the whole country by the time I'm done.
Are you returning on the cheminée of Luciano this year?
I'm not sure I can fit, but hey, I'll try.
Yeah, I will give you an in. Luciano said, if Enortap's coming, I'm going to start the fire on my fireplace. So be careful.
I'll make sure I give him some coal then.
But you never been, right? A Santa Claus dressed like a Maple Leaf players.
Oh, never. I would never do that.
How about this? The problem with that, Mr. Tap, when you dress like this, nobody accept you at the house. You get the Santa Claus, you get kicked out of the house, Mr. Tap. Mr. Tap, be well, BL. Find a way not only to donate your day, but find a way to donate what?
What else? You're 2024.
You did it again, Mr. Tap. And by the way, 7 game in action tonight, right? And NHL.
Not anymore. I think 1 more.
Yeah, but take a note about this, Mr. Tap. It's a fact. 5 of the 7 game, one team win with a 4 goal in the game.
Only 1. Okay.
5 of them, 4-2, 4-2, 4-1, 4-0, and 4-2.
Wow. Okay.
That's it. The number lucky tonight was number 4, Mr. Tap. So that's happening. So 4 points for the Montreal Canadiens. That's it. We got already the answer of the week, Mr. Enortap.
There you go.
Have an amazing, great week, Mr. Tap. I will see you.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Sunday night for the weekly report. I love to work with you. Hopefully you're doing well again. And until the next time, Hockey Nation and the Hab Nation, I want to tell you one more thing. We love you, everybody. Have a great night, Mr. Enortap.
Good night, Coach. Good night, Hockey Nation. Thanks again, Coach.
You're welcome. That's it. That's all for the show tonight, guys. We appreciate a lot of great comments for everybody. RJ Calabro at the news update was with us tonight. Ronnie Odette, Luc Fortin, Alan Vaillancourt, Eren Vaillancourt, N26 active again tonight. I love one N26 is with us. Luc Lafortune, have an amazing, great week. Mr. Lucky Luke with Larry Lavallée also with us tonight. A lot of great people, guys. Always a pleasure to be with you every night. Until the next time, my friend, Have an amazing, great week. Don't forget tomorrow night, 7:30. Booyah!